Hey guys, Malcolm Moore here, and in today's video we're going to talk about this, the Insta360 ONE X2. This is an awesome little 360 camera with a lens on either side, and if you've been following my channel you'll see that I've been using this pretty much exclusively to film all my recent videos. Now there's a couple of reasons why I really love this camera. I'm going to show you some cool tricks that you can do with it, but before we come on to all of that, let's just show you what this looks like on a nice sunny day, because today, to be honest, it's a little bit grey. Alright, that was pretty awesome, but I know what you're thinking. You're like, where is that selfie stick? What is he holding? Is it flying? Because the #1 comment I get down below whenever I use this camera in a video is that, how did you make the selfie stick disappear? Because if you look over here, hello, you can see that right now I'm still holding it. Yet in the 360 camera shot, it's not there. Where has it gone? And it's really, really simple to do this. You don't need any fancy editing software. You can do it on the free app that comes for your phone or on the computer app. And I'll come to all of that in a minute. And it's because you get this really cool, unique view. You know, you can't see this pole when you're filming yourself. But for me, that is the #1 reason that I love using this for my snowboarding videos, because it just really doesn't get in the way of the action, the stuff that I'm trying to show. And it is so easy to use, which is the next best thing about this camera, because it films everything. So let me just spin it around there. This camera is capturing everything around me, and then afterwards in the editing, you just choose where you want it to point. It is that simple. So on to the next thing. Specifically for me, I don't like to go around with a big backpack on. And this camera, this is the only action camera that really allows me to do this. I can pack it down that small that the selfie stick, and I actually even have another one in my pocket right now for something I'm going to show you later, but I can fit that all in my pocket, just like that. And let me get the little lens cap out here, pop that on there, just tuck that away in my pocket too, and we're ready to go snowboarding. No backpacks, nothing extra needed. All right, let's take this thing for a ride and see what it can do. Indy, are you coming? Come on. Time to take Indy for his walk. And guys, if you're interested in this camera, click on the link in the description just down below. And if you buy through that link, you're gonna grab yourself a bunch of free accessories with this camera. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. All right, let's go. Come on, Indy. And as I mentioned, the really cool thing about this camera is you can decide exactly where you want it to point. So I can have it pointing me, or if you're bored of that, you want to see Indy, flip it around, let's follow him. Back on me. Tell you what, let's zoom right out. Hello. Okay, that's a bit much. Let's bring it back in. And as I mentioned, the awesome thing about this camera is that you really don't need to worry where it's pointing. So, tell you what, let's stick it up over here behind me. It doesn't matter at all where the camera's sticking, because I know in the editing software afterwards, I can just get it pointing back on me. And because of that, you get so many options, so many different cool shots. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna step back into the computer editing software. I'm going to show you exactly what I did and how easy and how quick it was to make that little clip there.
So in the desktop app, and the first thing I've done there is just hit the direction lock button. I then use the cursor to just pull the camera around to point at me, and then as long as I don't move the camera, it's going to stay pointing back at me. I add a keyframe there, that's going to lock it in place. Now going down a little bit further into the clip, I've moved the camera a little bit, so I just then shift its view, make sure it's back centered on me, and it's just going to follow me. So now we're at the bit where I want to flip the camera around to follow Indy. So literally just like that, I spin it around, Indy's in the middle, add another keyframe, let's go back, give it a watch, action on me, up to that keyframe, then I've changed the view and you can see it's now on Indy. Now to bring it back to me, I do the same thing in reverse, just twizzle the camera around, press that button, that's how you add the keyframes, and that's how you choose what the camera's pointing at. So now this is a bit where I zoom right out. So add a keyframe there, and we're going to press this tiny planet button. So that really pulls the field of view right out and gives you this cool effect. I'm going to add in another keyframe there just to hold it there, and then that's me saying I want to pull it back in. So I'm going to go to about that point, add another keyframe, and I'll just go back to the default view, the one that I use for all my sort of selfie stick settings. And you really can sort of twizzle around with all of these settings to get any field of view, any combination that you want. Let's have a look, see how that one worked. Camera pans out, and I put it back in. It's really, really simple, guys, and this whole clip probably took me about 6 or 7 minutes to edit. So we're now at that one where I put the camera behind me, so as I do that, it's pointing in the wrong direction. As I did with Indy, I just spin it around to have it pointing on me, add the keyframe, there you go. Couldn't be easier.
Now, most of you aren't necessarily going to want to make longer videos. You're going to want to use this camera to make some cool, quick clips that you can share on your socials. And right now, I'm filming a time lapse out of the window of the gondola. And when I get to the top, I can hit that stop button, and then very quickly on the phone app, I can just have a look at the footage. It's going to look really cool, a bit like there's a drone flying outside, because as always, this selfie stick is invisible, and I can just choose where the camera is going to look. So I can add in some cool panning motion, in and out, spinning around, whatever I want. So you can see right now how I do that on the phone, and this is the final clip, what it looks like, which is also a good excuse for me to plug my Instagram. You can see the link down there, and you can see this footage on my Instagram as well. So the next one I'm going to show you is just a simple but very effective headcam. It gives you those awesome, quite realistic first person point of view shots. And the awesome thing about this camera compared to other action cameras is that you can spend a lot of time kind of being, okay, is the camera too far down? Is it too far up? But because this has such a wide field of view, it's capturing everything up to the sky and everything down to my feet. I don't really have to worry too much about where it's pointing, because I know when I look at the footage afterwards, I've got all that room and I can tilt it lower down if I need to, or I can bring it higher up. I'll be able to get that perfectly framed shot. So let's go for a little ride.
Now when you're doing headcam shots, it can be tricky to get a little bit of what's going on below your feet, so my snowboard underneath me, without cropping out the top of the mountain. But you can clearly see at the top of the frame there, we've got the top of the mountain in, as well as a snowboard beneath my feet. And it's thanks to this camera's really wide field of view that you just won't get on a standard action camera. And I'm just using the auto settings here. So as you can see, I go into the tunnel, it automatically brightens it up. And as I come out, it adjusts to match the light. And I'm just using all the other auto settings here too, but you can get a bit more into them and make your own adjustments if that's what you want to do as well.
All right, this one is the aptly named unicorn mount. So we're gonna give this one a go. First try for me. I haven't done this one before, but it should, in theory, give me some quite cool looking shots, as though there's a camera above me, just looking down overhead. Let me get my helmet strapped up and then we can start making some turns. There we go. Woo. So drop it down in the comments. What's your favorite mount? Or if you've got any ideas, any that you have that I haven't done, sorry, let some other people know, because there's so many things you can do with this camera. It really is cool. This is funny, having this over my head. Oh, the snow is sticky today. Okay, let's get a little bit more creative with this one. I've got that unicorn mount that I had on my helmet a minute ago. I'm just gonna see. Perfect, jam it in the snow there. I'm gonna hike up, carve around it, and let's get some cool shots.
So at the top, I just hit the record button on the app on my phone, little carve around the camera.
Wonder how that one looked.
And then just in the phone app, I'm using this deep track function where you can see I just draw around myself and it's going to automatically follow me through and end up with the shot like this.
Hey, quiet down here. Cool, so for this next one, I'm going to try and film a cool drone looking shot. I'm simply going to ride through here. Check I'm recording. Yes, I am. I'm going to ride through here, hold the camera out in front of me, move it up and down a bit, and you'll see what I can create.
Now normally this camera automatically locks the horizon level, which makes for really stable looking, smooth shots, and it's super helpful for everything else I use it for. But in the editing software, just unlocking that horizon allows you to create these tilting and rolling motions, kind of mimicking an FPV drone. It's a pretty cool effect actually, something that I'm going to play around with a little bit more in the future.
If you're wondering how durable these cameras are, they're pretty tough. I actually just dropped this one in the snow, in this ice, right on the lens, but it's totally fine. But I'm going to put the lens cap back on for now. And these things are fully waterproof as well, so no need to worry about using these in the snow. But on to my next trick. Pole times 1, pole times 2, screw it in the bottom. What do you have? Long pole. And I've got to watch out because there's some cables above me. I'm very intrigued to see what this looks like. The camera is miles away. Come on, Indy. Stuck in a tight spot like this gondola? Don't worry, this camera captures everything. Indy, say hello. Look how dirty he is. So, not the most glamorous of gondolas. Pretty old, this one. Imagine you're going heli skiing with your mates. You could literally turn this on super quickly. You're going to capture everything that's going on around you. Oh, my voice is going. Right, let's hit that pause button there. And I just want to show you something else that's really cool with this camera. So, let me just pull that off there. The battery on this thing is awesome. It's a really small camera, but just let me show you. If I pull it out, the battery is massive. And this is actually the one battery that I've been using all day to film all these clips. You don't have to worry about it dying in the cold, nothing like that. You can charge this up and you know you'll be good to go for the day. It's the only one I have and I've never had any issues with it. All right, so what are my final thoughts on this camera? Well, you've seen it can do a bunch of cool tricks. It's an absolute workhorse. It's got a massive battery. It lasts for ages. But for me, the #1 functionality of it has to be, for what I'm doing right now, you literally extend that pole, put it out, hit record. You don't have to worry at all about what it's filming because you know it's going to capture all that action and it's going to give you that cool, invisible selfie stick look, which for me is awesome for getting these point of view snowboarding shots. So once again guys, don't forget that you can grab this camera through the link below, and if you follow that link you're going to grab yourself some free accessories to go along with it. Thank you as always for watching. If you've got any questions on this camera, drop them down in the comment section below and I'll try my best to get back to you. And yeah, let me know if you have one and what you like to do with it. Because yeah, they're just really good fun, baby. Even like this, right now. I should really finish this video, but have a look ahead. There's some little boxes. Woo! Have a look back at me. This is me doing the boxes. It's just a wicked camera. It's so easy to use. Right, I'm gonna stop bigging it up now, but simple as, good camera, grab yourself one, done.